Our Heavenly Father, as we lift our thoughts upward to you, take our love with your love and let us embrace the vibration of your love and bring it down to this physical plane. We open our hearts and our mind to your being, and we allow ourselves to see a channel for the essence of your being. Eloah. Good evening, my beloveds. This evening I would like to speak to you on a matter that you already know about, but I feel that it should be one of the subjects that we speak in depth, and that is sending God's love. It is such an important thing at this particular time of your new age. It is one of the most valuable tools that you have to bring about light in the darkness, to bring about understanding where there is misunderstanding, to straighten the crooked places, and to allow ourselves to be that open channel. I would like to explain to you that as you open yourself to be a channel for God's love to flow through, you need not be perfect or any ways near perfect. All you need is to be willing. And as you allow God's love to flow through you, it helps you as it goes out to help others and where you send it. You can send it labeled or unlabeled. And when you send it labeled, for example, if your friend were injured, broke their arm or something, you could send them God's love for their broken arm. And because your free will is so important, that is all it would help them with, is the broken arm. But if you send God's love unlabeled, it would help them with the broken arm and many other things, whatever they need, as God sees the need. You see, your free will is something that God has given you and cannot even himself break this law. He gives you the freedom to go as far as you want in any direction. But as you learn to be a channel for his divine love to flow through, you are opening up to the essence of God himself. For God is love. And when you send love to the people of this planet, when you send love to this planet, to all the trouble spots on the planet, to all the world leaders, you are bringing the essence of God onto your plane. You are bringing peace and joy and beauty and the beautiful essence of God's love. As it flows through you, it automatically helps you with whatever you need, whether you're conscious of it or not. It is such a beautiful tool and such a beautiful exercise, and it has been given to this plane to usher in this new age. When you spend time through the day to sit down and be still, and it would be good if you ask God to cleanse you of all past negation so that you are a clean, clear, open channel. And it matters not what you've done in the past or what you haven't done, All you need to do is to be willing. And then just know that God's love is flowing through you. I have prodded Donald to make a list of the things that he sends love to each day, for we have reached his mind and expanded his love spending in the last year greatly. And there are many, many things that you can send love to. And one of the things that he has learned is to ask God to multiply the love that is sent out by his heavenly host many times. All the love spending. Donald sends love ahead into his day, into his every thought, word, and deed, into every situation, into every encounter. He fills the center to overflowing with God's love, and he also has learned just this year to ask God to sustain and maintain the vibrations of divine love throughout the day and throughout the night to come. And you, my dear ones, could do this with your home, with your offices, where you work, whatever you're doing. And as you move through the valley and go about your work, send God's love ahead of you to wherever you go. Send love into each individual that you come in contact with. You will find that as you make a habit of this, that everything will become much easier. Everything will be lighter. And all the communications will improve greatly. When you go about your day with God's love going ahead of you to pave the way. It is such a wonderful and beautiful experience to allow yourself to be a channel for God's love to flow through. It is beyond words to explain to you how powerful and how wonderful God's love is. God's love is the essence of himself, and so it has all knowledge and all wisdom, and it knows what to do. All you need to do is to be willing to be the channel and to send it forth. There are many on the invisible realms who have volunteered to carry this divine love to its place. And remember also to send God's love to the planes of darkness, to these other dimensions, to all of those who have crossed over recently, whether they have gone through the experience you call death or whether they are coming into this plane called birth. They both need the adjustments. They need God's love to help them adjust to a new life. It is the same whether you're coming or going. Whenever you go through what you call death, it is being born into the spirit, into the other dimensions. And when you come into the physical, you shut off so much of your understanding by coming into the physical realm and being encased in a physical body. But it is for a purpose, and it is necessary for you to learn, and you have agreed to do this for your experience. My dear ones, remember that there is no good or evil. It is just experience. And when you can look at your fellow man and woman, when you can look at the world and know that it is having experience and think correctly about it, instead of seeing all the ugliness and all the negativity, know deep within yourself that these individuals that are involved with whatever it is, even a war are having the experience for their growth. And when you remember to send God's love to them, this helps them to move along a little faster, to help them to understand a little more. Now, there is another thing about this. When you send individuals love, they also have free will, and they may not be open for it, but it does stay in their aura for some time, for several days, or maybe even a week. And if they open up, then it comes in. You see, you should never send love and then look for results, for it is between them and God, just as your life is between you and God and no one else. It gives me joy to speak of this subject, for it is one of my favorite subjects, to speak of sending God's love, to bring to your earth plane the understanding of the powerful and the joy and the beauty that goes with God's love, the understanding, the great wisdom. And could you release yourself to God's love and think only in a loving way, then love would guide you in every way, in the correct way, for your best good and the best good of all concerned around you. Are there any questions that you would like to ask this evening? This is a good time to ask questions in a small group. As you move into the consciousness of divine love, as you learn to understand that divine love is God Himself, is the essence of God, and as you learn to speak with God in love and with love, daily talk to the God within you. And my dear ones, I would also remind you to talk to your elder brother, the master teacher that you call Jesus. He is one of the ones that is in charge of this planet and a few more. And he has gone through all the experiences that you have gone through and will go through. Most do not realize this, and they do not realize that he has had many incarnations on this planet and many other planets, and that he knows and understands all the things that you are experiencing, where when you take your things to God, you see, he only sees you as perfect as he created you in the beginning. And this is good. Talk to God, but also talk to your elder brother and let him help you. He is eager. He is a master of masters, and he is aware of everyone on this planet and what they are doing, what they are thinking at all times. He is open. He has dedicated himself to work with this planet until it is lifted up into the light of God consciousness. And he is with you and the planet. Also remember to send God's love into the planet, into the spirit of the planet. Send love into the places that have been polluted on the planet and the things that are harming the planet. And send love into the situations such as you call acid rain and those kind of things that are bringing damage to the well-being of the planet and everything on it. In the many years that man has been on this planet, he has been eager to gain physical things, and with the vibrations of greed, he has put his lack of understanding ahead of divine love and thinking of just himself in a selfish way to make money and to worship the false idols of illusion. And it has done much damage to your planet. You, my dear ones, are a part of this and have been a part of this as you've gone through many lives on this plane. But with the healing agent of divine love, you can rectify the things, the mistakes that you have made in the past. As you go through your days, remember who you are. Remember that you are not the physical body, you are not the personality, you are divine. You are made in the image and likeness of the Creator, and as such, you are a creator, and you can create whatever you desire, and you are constantly creating because your every thought, word, and deed is creating your future ahead of you and all around you. And when you remember to incorporate sending God's love into your day, into your thoughts, into every deed, then you see, my dear ones, it is there to meet you when you come to a certain point, and it will remind you if you are open. Often through the day, surround yourself and all the people on this planet with God's love. Send each one a huge avalanche of God's love. Send an extra abundance of God's love to the world leaders, to all the trouble spots in the world. It is such a beautiful experience to know that you can do this just by being willing. And as you clean out your subconscious mind of the dross of the negativity, you open up to be even a cleaner channel for more love to flow through. It is a beautiful experience to experience life and understand it. The understanding from your level is very little for most on your plane, because they see only the physical 5-sense world, only less than 2% of what life really is, and they miss so much. And through the years, with the negative thinking, mankind has created a dark cloud of negative thoughts around this planet, and so he shut himself off from the upper dimensions. It was never intended that man should walk alone on this planet. It was intended that he should know his teachers and his guides and the ones that are in charge of him from this dimension, and be able to communicate with them, to see them, to hear them. But as you have dropped down in vibration, you have forgotten this, and you are walking alone most of the time, not realizing that you are never alone, and that Jesus, your teachers, and all your guides, and all your friends that you have known for eons of time are only a thought away. They are only a thought away, my dear ones. And could you but remember this, when you feel down, when you feel discouraged, reach out with your thoughts and take the hand of your brother, your elder brother, and all of those who are helping to help the ones on this physical plane to grow, to move higher in their understanding. Remember to remember who you are. Remember to ask for help. It is such an important thing that you rise above this physical world, as did the elder brother. It is so important that you give your thoughts. When you give thought, you give life force. So you're giving your life to the loving things, to let love be the guide with your every thought, word, and deed, to let love reach out and go before you when you meet someone, no matter what the situation is, no matter if it appears to be your enemy. The master teacher taught to love your enemy, to let God's love flow through to all without exception. And you see, my dear ones, as you do this, then you are not judging. And in not judging, you are not judged. There are so many things to explain to you and to bring to your attention. These things you have heard before, but I would impress them more deeply in your consciousness this evening, so that you will remember to let love help you much, much more than you do. God's love is the essence of life. When you realize that everything that you see is created out of God's love, without God's love, life would not be. You see, it is out of God's love that life came into being, and that He created the universe. He created you in His own image and breathed the life of Himself into you and gave you eternal life. You are eternal. Remember this. You are eternal. You cannot be destroyed. There is no death. There is change. And when you wear your body out through negative thoughts and feelings, you then get a new one, go back home to these dimensions, and rest for a while. But if you have not finished your karma, then you come back again to work some more. My dear ones, in this new age, there will be many who come remembering who they are, remembering their divinity. And there are some now that do. They are not outspoken about it, but in this new age, there will be many, many more who come remembering all their past lives, remembering other planets that they have been on, remembering their relationship and their oneness with God and with the elder brother. It is a beautiful experience to know the truth and to be free of the illusions of this world, to be free, to be happy, to be relaxed, to be at peace, to be joyful, and to take joy in everything that you do. With every breath that you breathe, think of it as God's love that you're breathing into your body. And as you breathe out, you're breathing out God's love. And as you remember to send God's love to the world and to the whole universe, for it is not limited in any way. You see, it is all-powerful and all-wise. And you can send it to this one planet, or you can send it to the whole universe, just as easy. There are many, many things to learn. and your minds are opening up more and more every day. Your hearts are opening up to be loving and to be joyful. Let this continue to be the case. Let it continue to let God's light shine into your mind to give you the understanding. When you understand something, you do not fear it, and it is only fear that stands in your way to being one with God. Fear of lack, my dear ones. Turn loose of this and know your divinity, and know that you are created out of love and from love, and you are love, just as God is love. Are there any questions this evening that you would ask? It gives me great joy to come to you on these Wednesday evenings as you think of them. It gives the ones on this dimension and on many dimensions great joy to join you, and there are many here in the invisible, many who have come to learn as you have come to learn. And I would say to you, these Wednesday sessions are just as important for these on this side of the veil as on your side of the veil, and maybe more so. You see, they did not have the opportunity or did not take the opportunity to have this understanding that you are being taught. Often through the day, send God's love to all those in the darkness, all those who have crossed over recently. Many, many things that you can send love to. But also, my dear ones, remember to send love to yourself. Because you see, when you send love to yourself, you're opening up to the truth. You're opening up to greater understanding. And use your inner image to see divine light coming down into your mind. God's love and light and healing power are there for you at all times. Take advantage of it. Allow God to be the divine being that He already is within you, and allow yourself to know it and to express it as you go through your days, as you finish this incarnation, as you move into this new age, bringing light and love and the essence of God to this plane of dimness and darkness. God bless you, my dear ones, and good evening. As we come together, holding hands, let us think of bringing this divine love to the physical and to our physical selves and our physical life. Let us feel God's love coming around this circle, filling this room, spreading out over this city, and covering this planet with a warm blanket of God's love. Let us see it growing to all those in darkness, to all those, to everyone on this planet, and an extra abundance of God's love going to the world leaders, to all those connected with the world leaders, to all the trouble spots in the world, to all those involved in the trouble spot. Let us think of God's love going ahead of us into this week, into our every thought, word, and deed, into every situation, into every encounter. And let us know that it is there, pleading to greet us every moment as we move through our day. Thank you, Father. He had a lot more to express about love that didn't get through.
I heard it all before, but it just, it really, if I cared again, and it came fair to read, it forced.
Every class that he's taught us since the 50s has been on divine love. been to the point of applying law. And I don't know how many classes that, when we were in Oklahoma, we would get together 3 times a week. When we moved to Arizona, they cut it down to our contact down to once a week on a Sunday. But we'd get together 3 or 4 nights a week and talk about past and just be together and read a good book or something.
Do you keep in contact with these people?
Pardon?
Do you keep in contact with them?
Yes, there's just a few of them left. I was the youngest. And my ex-wife, Alberta, is the youngest there now. And the rest of them are in their 80s. And Don, that's the main coming.
Hard to think about.
Yeah. There used to be, in the wintertime, they would have people come visit for a week or two, and they had hookups for extra trailers and some places, a few places. But they're all they're getting older, and they're thinking of graduating, so they don't invite people as much as they used to. But Don was working in that area. He just wandered in and got acquainted.
Amazing. And just was kind of drawn right up to your door.
You know what I mean?
There's even the only one more without. There's the only one here at that whole place at that time. Of course, we've been in it for quite a while, and then Alberta came and Kate and the guns and George. But they're just solar vibration was so high there.
Yeah, there were 17 when I left.
It just felt, just so peaceful. It's ever in here breaking. Are they like living mastery?
Pardon?
Are they like living mastery?
No, they're just like you and I, growing and learning. But we moved from Oklahoma, see, as a group. And when I left to come to Phoenix 20 years ago, there were 17 of us. And this young lady lived just a little ways from it. And I saw her grow up. She was just 6 or 7. I first met her. And I started a group in Collage in her mother's house when we had our first meeting.
And then you met Lily.
Not as contrary hearted. Once in a while. I think I was out there several times.
She decided to go to college, so her and her mother moved to Tennessee. But we were just talking before class how long I've known her. It's been about 28 years.
Is following the random we should.
Things didn't make sure that. Very young. So good.
It was a beautiful experience being there. I lived there 10 years, and it's very difficult for me to leave because we build up the vibration so high, and we're all in one accord. The only problems that we ever had was when we decided to incorporate, and there were a few people that had quite a bit of money, and they was afraid they were going to get sued. So they decided they should incorporate, and everything's fine, so we decided what to go in the bylaws. That's a stupid thing, you make the bylaws and put them in the drawer and never look at them again. That was one time and we'd meet on Tuesday nights while we were doing that. About half of the time I didn't go over because, but that was, we had a big bell and we'd ring it every morning at 9:30, and those that were on the grounds would come, would read something inspirational and have a 15-minute quiet time. Same thing at 2:30 every afternoon. And then we'd get together 3 or 4 times a week in the evening, probably 4 or 5. And then had our contact on Sunday. So There's a lot of togetherness, and we didn't have any leaders in the physical. All love was our leader, and he is on the other dimensions. And he talked to us before we went back in Oklahoma, and I didn't really ever think it would happen. And he said, well, usually it's built around one person, the group is, and when that person graduates to the other dimensions or leaves, well, then the group falls apart. But we didn't have it. One of the things, we didn't take any new people in, very many, very seldom we did. But I had a business that took me all over the area, and I got acquainted with a lot of people, including this lady and her mother. And so I talked the group into having Wednesday night as an open night for the neighbors to come, And there's quite a few that came. Did you ever know Gloria England? Her and her husband had a big ranch, and she came almost every time that we had. And O.J., he worked for the city, the county in Florence, and he's still there. He comes every Sunday. And I was there one summer by myself. I started the business, and everybody else left for the summer. And George and Doc had started working in Yellowstone, where it's nice and cool. So O.J. was having some problems, and somebody sent him over to me, and we got acquainted, and he's never did live on the ground, but he was just as much a part of the group as anybody else. And he's still there. But my first day I came, the last day of February, I, threw all the things I had in my car. George and Alice were already here and bought the land. We sent them the money in. And so I was single at the time. And somehow I got here a day earlier than I was supposed to. I think I was transported part of the way. And George and Alice had come to Phoenix to buy some supplies. And I was driving around, and anybody I'd meet, hi. I don't know what that guy's doing. I don't know him, But everybody's so friendly, And everybody easygoing. I come out of Oklahoma City, it's much larger than Phoenix, in a real fast pace, And Florence is just a little one-horse town. And go down and have a cup of coffee in the restaurant, and waitress be talking to someone down at the other end of the counter. She just keep on talking. And when I got around to it, they come away, It was much better than living in that rat race,
Well, I think Cactus Forest is going to start growing Portugal.
And yeah, I'm sure it has. I was there on Easter about 3 years ago, and it was a lot of places that built it. Our closest neighbor was about a half a mile away, and his name's Father. He was building a house. He had a trailer living in, and we bought this 2.5 acres, and this guy approved that veterans could get a patent on the land to build a 20 by 20 house on it. And so we bought 2.5 those acres and then rented his little house to put our tools in. I slept in it while we're at in the development go there. Trunk? Or in the house still there. Yeah, that's still there. No. One of the members who bought the place, and I don't know who it is now. Now that's time. Yeah, I slept a little army cot there. George and I worked 14, 16 hours a day, but we had a little timer with us, and we set it for every 15 minutes. And when it went off, we'd stop and send love, and set it again, go back to work. pouring cement, digging ditches, and Alice cooked for us. And
You still married one chapters. Well, I was known.
quite an adventure. I had a full life this incarnation, that's for sure.
How'd you choose this area?
Pardon?
How did you choose this area to reside?
Well, I looked at Tucson. I knew I had to leave because I stopped growing. And it's too easy there, you know. And I had a little office there in Cooley, working with people and drawing people from Casa Grande and Eagle and Florence, but there wasn't that many people there then, was there? And so I looked Tucson over and thought, well, maybe I better go to Phoenix. I knew one person in Phoenix, and I had my first class in her house. That's when we made the regression tape, the Atlantis play on the Phenomena Day. That was 1967. And so then you remember the trailer was in your backyard? Well, I pulled it and parked in a trailer park just a short ways from here, and worked out of it for the first year. And then I was class was getting too big. So I rented a place on 23rd Avenue and worked there for 5 years, and then decided to fit on the place, you know. I'd drive up 15th Avenue here, you know, saw these nice workplaces, and I called this to be a nice place to live. And put it into law, and it happened. So we're going to have the stuff that knows kind of 30 here. I had no idea what it goes through. Starts 9 o'clock. Get over around 3:30. But don't send you over 10 people, because they'll have linked to a lot of pink.
South Nova over 10 feet.
Yeah, 10 feet. Those shows call it Collage.
Nobody wanted to go to the turn.
Good. Right, you.